floated some dimes off the smoke muscle. While I'm always gon' shine off the damn hustle. It's the shit that's designed, keep my mind right. Knowing Smokey gon' pop when the time's right. Let them boys be the block, get they limelight. Out the way, smoking gas, I'm with 9. Know they watching my page, they spying. Try to break in the circle, they spying. I'm remixing the Sprite with the C-Wop. Rolling snow caps with gas at the treetop. Why you thinking up, he got ski mop. I up top, now I guess you get re-rocked. She get D in the line, feel like flesh cops. I be slanging the 3, feel like red socks. I said B's and Suwoo, you get red shots. I'm on one. 38 could've loaded and don't one. Getting them moves about you. All I'm dreaming is the blues. Dreams are real too. What it means telling you. What it means fell through. Ice on, Iceman, ice show, speed, when I blow, 3, mind blown, freeze, the time on, delete, on my wrong, retracing my steps, I'm going, when I fell off I turned to a dog, ran it up, now my money too tall, selling merch ain't no tree or no dog, I relieve him, he think he too raw, throwing breeze with his peas in the fall, clock on hip, got him thinking of fupa, wasn't like this but I was influenced, broke that dog and it's ready to bark, Dutch road is ready to spark, it's the end but I hit from the start, each day I wake up and clock in, know my family been straight, we been locked in. I floated some dimes off the smoke muscle. While I'm always gon' shine off the damn hustle. It's the shit that's designed, keep my mind right. Knowing Smokey gon' pop when the time's right. Let them boys be the block, get they limelight. Out the way, smoking gas, I'm with 9. Know they watching my page, they spying. Try to break in the circle, they spying. I'm remixing the Sprite with the C-Wop. Rolling snow caps with gas at the treetop. Why you thinking us, he got ski mop. I up top, now I guess you get re-rocked. She get D in the line, feel like flesh cops. I be slanging the 3, feel like red socks. Rolling gas on the tree, I'm with 9. Shot in his spine cause he's spying.
All right. Getting everything going, man. What's going on the late night tip? Late night. How everybody doing? Hopefully everybody has had a great day. Blessings and success to everybody, man. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Man, long day today. I can't wait to get this conversation going, man. If you tapped in, drop a comment. Let's get the conversation going. 2026 Browns. Conversation still circulating around the quarterback room. We still got camp to come. They come back the 29th, man. July 29th, we got people coming back. We got the work starting. That's when it's going to get cracking, man. That's when real football is going to be played, man. So all the chit-chat, all the opinions, all the narratives, all that stuff go out the window when them pads come on. It's put up or shut up. And that go for everybody. That go for Shedeur Sanders. That go for Deshaun Watson. That go for Jerry Jeudy. They go for everybody that's a member of this Cleveland Browns team, because this year is a prove-it year for everybody. Even Coach Monken, right? A lot has been made, and I feel like Coach Monken is a great offensive mind, right? I feel like he's one of the better offensive minds in the league. Despite his age, I feel like this guy can cook. And a lot of people have been talking about the differences in the offensive system and what the Browns are going to do this year. And I think one of the major differences that you'll see on the offense, first and foremost, is going to be that the Browns are going to be much more disciplined than what we've seen. Okay, we've seen the Browns be an absolutely, I don't even want to use that word, so we'll use a different word, but absolutely atrocious as far as fundamental team on the offensive front. Time in, time out, we see the Browns stall out drives, kill drives that were in motion because of illegal procedures, holdings, false starts. All of those little type of things add to why you lose games. So when you start to talk about the Browns and the offense and what you expect from them this year, I think it's important to start there. The discipline factor. With Kevin Stefanski, things were laxed. Walked through tempo just about all the time. They never really got too physical. None of that stuff. He was trying to save guys. This year, they're going to get physical in camp because Coach Monken doesn't know these guys. He hasn't seen any of these guys in the past work up front and get to it. He hasn't seen any of these guys in person with his own eyes. So when you have to evaluate your talent, yeah, it's cool. You were on another team. You know of these players. You might know these guys. but you don't know exactly what you're working with. And Coach Monken is a coach that tailors his offense to what he has. So why this camp is going to be so important is because people have to show up and show their skill set. So it's going to be physical. It's going to be a lot of high tempo, high energy circumstances, high stakes circumstances. You have competition all across the board. At every level on the offense, you have competition. Which outside of running back, you could say, yeah, Quinshawn Judkins has competition with himself as far as staying healthy. But as far as that number 2 tailback, that's up in the air. Everybody believes Dylan Sampson's that guy, but we had to see it. He was banged up last year, showed a couple things here and there, but everybody on this offense is in prove-it mode. Everybody in this offense's position is up in the air. Only person is not Harold Fannin. So when you start talking about how things are going in camp, we have to understand that these guys are going to be putting on something completely different than what we're used to this year. This year is going to be go mode. You're going to see, once again, high intensity reps. You're going to see high circumstances right now. There's going to be a lot of risk involved with playing. If you're in camp and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you will be moved down on the depth chart. When we start talking about wide receivers, Jerry Jeudy, he's going to have some competition. These young boys have shown flashes. Yes, we weren't in pads, but wide receivers is pretty much the same thing, except for the fact that somebody might smack you in your mouth coming across the middle. When we start talking about wide receivers, Jerry Jeudy is in a prove-it-now mode. Jerry Jeudy has to be the guy. And if he doesn't, you got guys willing to step up and take his spot. Denzel Boston, Casey Concepcion, right? You have Isaiah Bond. All of the likes are people that are going to give you quality minutes and quality reps. So if Jerry Jeudy isn't doing this thing, see you later, man. Now, before we start diving into everything going on right now, let's go ahead and get hyped up. I love to get hyped up. And who better to get us hyped up than the new leader on the defense, man? Jared Verse. Get us hyped, man. Get us started in here. Get us started in here, Jared Verse.
Nah, you lost. Don't worry. Don't worry, you lost. Hey, your bag was close. Let's go, y'all. Dogs on me. Dogs on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hands.
I like that. I like that.
Hands.
I like the intensity. I like the motor. That's one thing that's getting me going already right there. A lot has been said about Myles Garrett before in the past and his leadership style, the way that he attacks, the way that he handles himself in the locker room as far as engaging his teammates, getting people ready to go, right? This is night and day. I don't think you have those questions with this guy right here. I don't think you have those questions as far as leadership. Now, may you see a step back in production as far as sack numbers? Yes. But this guy is stout in the run. This guy is somebody that can effectively lead your defense. We've seen it with the Rams. He was the voice of the Rams. After Aaron Donald was gone, he was the predecessor. This was the guy. So when you start talking about the Browns defense, it's key to mention this guy. And I'm expecting a breakout season. I'm expecting a breakout season from Jared Verse. I expect between 12 and 15 sacks from this guy. Is that a lot? Yes, because he hasn't cracked double-digit sacks yet. But why do I think he can get 12 to 15 sacks? Because this guy is moving from schemes. Once again, we've talked about this a lot. A 3-4 versus a 4-3 means a world of difference for a defensive end. That 4-3 for you is going to allow you to attack. It's attack mode. It's time to get to it. There is no pass responsibility. There is no peeling out for the back. There is no making sure you have that outside contain. We got linebackers for that. You can go hunt. Get your pass rush moves off. So I'm expecting to see him apply some serious new pass rush moves to his arsenal, right?
Act like it's in game. Rush him upfield, cut, and work your way inside.
Okay. The angle shouldn't be at him. It should be up.
It has.
You see him coaching Lil Fano up? I love this. We talked about leadership. Myles Garrett, somebody that didn't really talk too much. Myles Garrett is more of a leader by actions. Somebody that gets in, he does the work. You're going to see him go 100 miles an hour and do what he needs to do. But he's not somebody that's as vocal as maybe you would expect someone of his stature to be. Well, you made a bunch of that, Cleveland media. Now you've got a leader.
That's the change. It's a 1-2, cut, and then go to the quarterback. We can't get tired.
He's coaching guys up, and he ain't been there.
We can't get tired, baby. Once you're able to touch him from the
first OTAs, he coaching guys up.
Able to touch him, and he's able to touch you. Make sure your hands moving. Always keep your hands up. Hey, where we at? We over here? You getting all that today? Hell nah. Y'all earning that month off.
I love the motor. Mind you, no pads. We just getting to it. But I love the motor. I love the talkativeness, the communication.
It can get your whole chest for that. Knocking their hands off. You don't want them to ever touch your chest. Okay. So the second you do this, like you gotta think about it. The second they even see you shoot your hand, they shoot.
This is his first day in OTAs, mind you. He hasn't, man, this guy hasn't been in Cleveland a month yet. And he's coaching guys up on the defense. This is something I love to see, especially with as young as a team as we have. We need people to step up and be the core leaders on this team. We need captains to rise to the occasion. And not just because of names on the back of the jersey or stature or where they came from, but because of what they're doing on the field, day in and day out. And I love to see this from Verse. In one of the first days that you're in Cleveland, you're already coaching guys up. You're already being vocal. You're already setting the tempo and the standard for your defense. I love that. When you factor in him, you factor in Quincy Williams, you factor in Carson Schlesinger, this defense has the potential to cook. Everybody is talking about a huge drop-off or a potential for a drop. We can see a potential step forward, depending on the group. I'm expecting a lot out of Mike Rutenberg. I'm not expecting a big drop-off, man.
Lay hands. Okay. So you got to match that. Second you shoot your hand, shoot your move.
Coach him up, Verse.
You can always be late. You can't be late enough when they grab you. And you don't want to be early because you're going to miss. Okay. You got to find that perfect window. Okay. Let's go get this work. 1, 2, stab, move.
Coach him up. Good work.
Lock in, baby. Lock in. I know y'all tired, baby. Let's go. Come on, baby. Let's get this, baby. We need this.
Man, I love that. I love the motor. I love that, man. This is in underwear, essentially, pajamas. But this guy is showing you the intensity. Now, only thing that can happen from here is for him to keep raising this level of intensity, keep raising the pressure that he's putting on his teammates to be great in this scenario. Because the Browns defense is going to need that this year. They're going to need a vocal leader. I see Mike Hall Jr. out there.
Florida State. Now they want to beat Florida State, wave a flag and throw that field the field. Hey, we ain't do that on their field because we expected to beat them. We won with our second string quarterback. Our best running back got hurt halfway through the game, and we still beat y'all boys 24-15. I remember the score too. Hey, we got a tradition at Florida State against Miami or Florida where we beat them on their field. We take a little bit of their grass.
Hey, dogs on me, dogs on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I love that, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. Now, that's our primer, man. That got me hyped, man. Seeing the intensity from Verse, seeing the way that he comes in, short notice, short work week, as you could say. Comes in and is already to come in, start coaching guys up, leading the defense. That's what you want to see, man. With a young core of guys, you have many of guys under 27 on this team. You need guys like him, guys like Alex Wright, guys like Quincy Williams, guys like Carson Schlesinger to continue taking steps forward with their game for this defense to continue to grow. And I believe we can see that happen, right? You have new pieces. EMW, my goodness, man. Why is nobody talking about Emmanuel McNeil-Warren? I don't know, but I feel like this guy can possibly show up on Sundays and pay huge dividends, man. Let's go ahead and get into our first topic today, man. We done got primed already. We done talked. We done chopped it up, man. We done had the appetizers. Now let's get into the meal, man. Shouts out to UCSS, man. This footage is courtesy of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, man. Shout out to those guys, man. They never trip about a copyright, so we getting right to it. First topic, let's go ahead and get into it.
All right, guys, it is time to talk about ESPN's annual rankings of the best cast of weapons in the NFL. This includes running backs, receivers, and tight ends. Offensive line, quarterback, taken out of the equation. Bill Barnwell does this for ESPN every year. And we're not going to argue exactly where the Browns have been ranked because they're low. We'll get to their ranking in a second. But I have a question I want to ask you guys about this group after we go through all the data. According to Bill Barnwell, in his rankings, this is the top 5. You will not find the Browns here. You have the Lions, the Rams, the Bengals, Kevin Stefanski, and the Falcons. And
let's pause there and talk about that. Just a quick point. Our guy Kev, man. They got him ranked as a top 5 offensive weapon pack. What are you going to do, buddy? You had better cook down there with them lefties. Keep going, though, y'all.
And the San Francisco 49ers rounding out the top 5. Let's look at the bottom 5 now. That's where Cleveland falls itself. The Dolphins had the lowest ranked group of weapons. The Giants, 31st. The Browns, 30th. Buffalo, a Super Bowl contender, at 29.
Buffalo,
and the Panthers
that's wild.
At 28.
I know, right?
The reasoning.
Hey, man, I had it set wrong, man. I see y'all in the chat, man. Salute you guys. What's going on, Irvin Reed? I appreciate you being in here. Yes, sir. We had to tap in. What's going on, Big Kev? How you doing? He said that 30-day grace period begins today. For sure. For sure, man. Just like any job, your resume... you resume... your resume got you on, but that training period determines. Exactly. It determines if you stay on. Yeah, for sure. Our OTAs were different from others. Everybody wants everyone else to eat. Okay. I'm not expecting any drop-off. Quietly, I'm expecting an improvement. For sure. Shouts out to you, Irvin Reed, because I am expecting improvement. A lot of people talk about the defense, and, right now, because of the loss of Myles Garrett, the loss of Jim Schwartz, everybody assumes that this defense is going to take at least a small step back. They don't expect it to be as good as it was last year, right? And there were moments last year where the defense did not show up. People act like this defense was just dominant. Myles Garrett was sacks every game. No, Myles Garrett got the record because he had about 3 or 4 games where he had like 4 or 5 sacks. Now, there were some periods where he was quiet. Now, is that because he didn't have a motor or he wasn't grinding? No, you had people literally game planning not to let him get off on them. So, you know what I mean? You can take that for what you want. But in terms of the defense in 26, I do not see a reason why they cannot be better in 2026. So shouts out to you, Irvin Reed, because I agree with you there, man. Said even G. Bush did a quick motivational on empty field asking, what are you doing when nobody's looking? Exactly. What are you doing when nobody's looking? Like he was saying, and I saw that earlier. There's somebody right now putting some work in. Some of these Browns players are somewhere putting some work in right now, getting ready to do what they need to do. There's people all around that are grinding. Forget the league, just in their day in, day out life. Every day, people have to get up and choose whether they get into it or not. So when we talk about this football, it's going to be time for us to actually see who's been putting that work in, who's getting it together, and who's ready to show up and show out. Hey, quick clips. Appreciate you, man. They treat Verse as an afterthought. Yeah, because they're so hooked on Myles Garrett. The narrative now is because Myles Garrett left. Let me tell you this. They wanted to act like Myles Garrett didn't account for a whole bunch of wins last year, or he wasn't so great. They tried to downplay Myles Garrett when he was on the team, right? When they thought he was going to be a Brown for life, they wanted to downplay and poo-poo Myles Garrett because they didn't like him in the locker room. They didn't feel like he was vocal enough. They didn't like his leadership style. They don't like the fact that he drive his car as fast as he wants to and he don't care about what you think. That was a lot of the case with Myles Garrett. People, once again in the Cleveland media, upset about things that have nothing to do with football. Absolutely nothing to do with football, man. Absolutely nothing. So when you talk about Verse being an afterthought, yes, when I think about Myles Garrett leaving, okay, cool. But you got Verse, a guy that's in year 3, coming off of 2 very productive seasons in a defense that isn't really highlighted for him to get sacks. Now, it's not highlighted for sack production. Now he moves to a defense where he's going to be highlighted to go get the quarterback. He's going to be asked to go get the quarterback more than he was asked to before. Less responsibility as far as pass pro. He doesn't have to get out and cover in the flats and do all those types of things. No, sir. Get up in there and get active. We want to see what you can do. That's why I said I expect him to get between 12 and 15 sacks this year. So once again, shout out to Quick Clips, man. The Browns will be in critical categories. People don't understand passion and focus. Leads by example, and he's the best defender on their team. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. Go Buffs and go Browns, man. Shout out to y'all. Now let's continue on here, man. Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. They're talking about, the cores as far as offensive playmakers and weapons. We're going to talk about this Browns core and what we think we can expect from them, our projections from them, right? Most of our team is rookies as far as on the offensive end, as far as the playmaking positions. Your receivers, you got Denzel Boston, Bond, which isn't a rookie, but this is a second-year guy who didn't have OTAs, didn't have an offseason last year to get accommodated to the NFL. So this is his first real offseason, akin to Shador. Right? You have Casey Concepcion. You got Harold Fannin coming off an injury. Shout out that guy, but he's only in year 2. So you got a lot of people that still have a lot of growth to be able to, take fast strides in their game. Now the key is, can Coach Monken untap and unlock the potential that he has in the room?
As to why the Browns came in at number 30, this is from Bill Barnwell, quote, "The only thing close to a reliable option here, though, might be tight end Harold Fannin Jr., who was 9th in yards per route run among tight ends last season, just ahead of Kyle Pitts. Veteran Jerry Jeudy followed up a solid debut season by going missing for most of his second year in Cleveland, and drops remain a vexing problem for him. If Fannin sticks in the top 10 of yards per route run, and one of the young wideouts breaks through into an above-average NFL starter, the Browns will climb up the ranks next season." So youth and inexperience, the reason. If you want to make the case the Browns should be a little higher, by all means, you have the floor, go ahead. But big picture, by the end of the season, what was the ceiling for the Browns group of weapons? How good could this group be in week 11, 10, 13 by the end of the season? Could we look in middle of the pack? Is that possible?
Could be. 30, there's nothing positive about that. But to me, this is a yes and yes. Yes, that checks out from what I think, what I see. And yes, I'm optimistic on this group. I think Quinshon Judkins, if he's healthy, can be a really good player, maybe even better than that. I think Harold Fannin is already a really good player and maybe a superstar. And I know this receiving core is going to be upgraded. So these guys haven't taken a single training camp snap yet, right, Jay? But Denzel Boston was the unquestioned star of the spring. He was drafted 15 picks after Casey Concepcion, who was brought in for his explosion, for his athleticism, things that this team was missing. Isaiah Bond is at least improved. Is he going to be great and consistently good? I don't know. But more than anything, Jerry Jeudy is not the guy they have to count on. And Harold Fannin is a known commodity who can move around the formation. So I worry about depth, I worry about development, worry about all these things. But yes and yes, Mike. Yes, 30th fits, and yes, maybe 15th or 20th. By the end of this season seems reasonable. I don't seem super strong on that.
Okay, let's dive into that real quick. 30th, okay. You can debate and argue all you want to as far as where they have them ranked. The reason why they have them ranked 30th as far as their cast of weapons is because everybody's young. We understand that. Now, we know that our weapons that we got are elite as far as projections, what we think and what we can see them being. They have to show up and do the thing, right? They have to show up and do that. But as far as what we've seen so far in OTAs, the draft stock that they had, the pedigree that these guys came in with, especially our receivers, right, are guys that are top flight and supposed to be top flight, guys that you can expect to produce this year. Will they have possible ups and downs? Yes. But I don't see this being an end of the pack, back end, cast at the end of the season. There's no way that with this group, Harold Fannin included, Jerry Jeudy, everybody gives Jerry Jeudy flack. That's the most hated person in the receiving room, right? We all understand that and we all know that. But I feel like with this team, Coach Monken really has the availability to cook. Think about who you have and think about who Coach Monken had with the Ravens. Everybody makes talk like the Browns receiving room is so bad. I feel like our receiving room is better than the Ravens receiving room. Tell me if I'm wrong. All things considered, I feel like our receiving room is better than what Coach Monken had with the Ravens. Everybody talks about his motion, his availability to get things schemed up in space for guys, be able to run the top off of the defense because he does take shots. but then be able to hit strikes in the 12 to 15 intermediate range right there, which is the honey hole. That's the hot spot. That's where you really want to attack a defense at. The middle of the field, 12 to 15. Give your playmaker some time to get out there, make a move or two, and you might have a house call. These are some of the things that I believe Coach Monken will be able to do with better weapons. And I do believe that this offense gives him better weapons.
I don't guarantee that, but I really want to see Denzel Boston and Concepcion get out there. And I really want to see Fannin progress because, like I said, I think he has superstar potential.
Absolutely.
When can they get out of Judy?
When can they get out of Judy? Hey, you guys want Judy gone? Answer me in the chat. You guys want Judy gone? Everybody hates on Jerry Jeudy. I feel like this guy can be very productive. Yes, he's had drops, he's had issues, but I feel like a lot of that I put on Coach Stefanski, man. I put on who he's been with. I feel like this guy with two, everybody hates him, everybody hates the relationship, but I feel like this guy can cook. Shouts out to Marie, man. I see you in the chat. Did you see Jalen Ramsey today at Prime Ranch talking to the leaders on the Buffs? I didn't see that video yet. You know I'll tap in. We'll probably have something on it tomorrow, probably in the morning coming out. I didn't see that. That sounds fire, though. That sounds fire. Hey, Renell Morton said Larry Moe and Curly. Yeah, they do have a terrible panel on UCSS today. It was not the best panel, man. It was not the best panel, man. Shouts out to you guys in the chat. It's wild to me when I was in Colorado, I heard this anti-Prime, anti-Shador narrative. And returning home, I'm still hearing this narrative. It's crazy work. Yeah, because people prey on people's downfall. People hate on the success. People hate on the energy. And I think the bravado and the nature of the Sanders family in the sense of they can't be shook off their platform. They can't be getting off kilter as far as they really don't interact with these folks. And there's a level of they don't like that. But when it's somebody of the opposite culture, that's highly valued. That's highly touted. So to me, yeah, that's mind-blowing. Irvin Reed, let me tap in with you. What you say, man? He said the Three Stooges. And Marie said, at Irvin, what they don't understand is what God has for you, no man can stop. Marie, I disagree. They understand it, they just don't believe it. And sadly, this is supposed to be believe land. Now, I don't think he was commenting back to what you said the first time. I get what you're saying there. And I don't think anything can be stopped. Like I said, we're getting to the real energy. This is where it's really about to start kicking off. As soon as these guys put these pads on, it is really going to get shaken in Cleveland. And a lot of the narratives, a lot of the talk is going to stop because we have to talk about the play. We'll have the play to talk about. So you can talk about how you feel and how you see things all you want to. But when we start seeing the players get on the field, do what they need to do, oh, man. That's when it's that time. That's when you separate the football people, the people that really care about the game, the people that understand the game. That's when you separate them from the people that just get on here and talk, and opinion talk, or text a guy and hear what a guy has to say about it. And Marie said, we don't want Jerry Jeudy. We just want him to do better with attitude and catching. If he does what's right, we cool with him. For sure. And I think Jerry Jeudy can do that, man. Irvin Reed said Jerry Jeudy equals trash. Y'all be at Jerry Judy's nugget, bro. I love it. But damn, man, stall him out, Debo. Samson is the secret weapon that nobody talks about. He'll be successful because nobody expects him to be. Yeah, shout out to you, Quick Clips. I believe that as well. Charmaine, JJ, just please catch the ball. Just please catch the ball. I'll feel you on that. It's not Jerry's skill, other than his chest catching. It's his prima donna. Ooh, now that's real right there. I do believe that. But I feel like Jerry is feeling the heat. Jerry knows that this is the last year of his contract. You don't think he understands that? He sees the writing on the wall. That boy got to get to it. Quick Clips. Jerry Jeudy will be traded by the deadline. Thank God. Drop football on another team. Only person I know that turns guaranteed touchdowns into impossible. I can't believe it. Interceptions. Yeah, that one against the Bears was wild work. I cannot lie to you. That had me screaming at my TV.
After this year.
So it's no if he falls
they cannot
apart
get out of him right now. He and Watson are on the team because they can't get out.
Yeah, but if he falls apart again this year,
they'll move.
They can move on from him. Yeah, I can't disagree with anything you said. Like, how can you possibly put them? I mean, if you want to quibble and put them 28th, okay,
Right.
what are we talking about here?
Right, yeah.
But-
They're bottom 5.
Yeah.
And nobody can argue against that.
Yeah, no, until proven otherwise. And like Quinshawn could be great this year, and we'll see with Denzel Boston. He could be great this year, but you can't put them there now. I'll be curious. I mean, obviously, a lot of this depends on the quarterback plays. I know the quarterback isn't included in this, but how good or bad the Browns quarterback play is this year is going to dictate how good or bad the receivers and running backs look, and it's just impossible to know right now.
The crazy thing, and I know we kind of laughed when we saw Buffalo was 29. That's like
hilarious.
Well, how much difference can a quarterback make?
Well, there you go.
Well, look at those.
Man, here they go. How much difference can a quarterback make? We saw their quarterback, with the cast of receivers they had last year, fold the playoffs away. With his perfect opportunity, we saw Josh Allen fold the playoffs away by holding the football like a loaf of bread, like a kid running home with a loaf of bread to his mom, holding it out here. How many times do we have to talk about Josh Allen's turnovers? But you guys are so thirsty for Josh Allen. Why? Because you can resonate with him. You can identify with him. I get it. Josh Allen is good. But when it comes time for that issue to be dealt, the only time we seen him do that was that 13-second game with the Chiefs. Other than that, fold, laundry.
And that's having drafted Keon Coleman in the first round and having spent a second rounder this year to go get DJ Moore, who's a proven player, and they're still ranked.
And they're still 29.
Yeah.
Warren Sapp boys used to say potential's a bad word. Potential means that you haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
And this roster, this weapons group, if you will, has potential. And it's a bad word because there's expectations there, there's hope there, but outside of Harold Fannin, there's no one that's truly demonstrated that they can do this. I have no doubt, barring injury, Harold Fannin is going to have an unbelievable career.
Facts.
I completely believe that. I believe that even before he came here on the draft.
Hey, shouts out to the crib, Canton McKinley, man. That guy. Harold Fannin Jr., man. Shouts out to him, man, from the Hall of Fame city.
I loved him in college. You don't lead the NCAA in yards and receptions as a tight end and not expect to translate at the next level. And he did it against the top Division I Penn States, A&Ms that they played on their schedule that year. And he was the only guy they were targeting. And he still went over 100. So I have every belief that he has a long runway into superstardom in the NFL. I love Judkins.
Let's pause right there and talk about Harold Fannin. I feel like he's primed for a breakout year too. You know why? Because he's going to have way more options on the field with him as far as people to take the heat off of Harold Fannin. You can go ahead and try and cover Harold Fannin with a bracket all you want to. You can try and do what you need to do as far as what you feel like defensively will stop him. But while you're trying to stop Harold Fannin, we're going to be cooking with Bond. We're going to be cooking with Denzel Boston. We're going to be cooking with Concepcion. Our favorite guy, Jerry Jeudy, is going to be cooking, man. Hey, shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys. Let's tap in real quick. Hey, what is that? Our Jizzle. Isaiah Bond. Hold on, let me slide it back up. Isaiah Bond got just as much highlights from camp as Boston. I think Bond is going to be the breakout wide receiver. Absolutely. When you heard Coach Monken talk about Isaiah Bond, he talked about him in a fashion that said he has the potential to break the field open. He's seen what he can do already. So if you don't think that Coach Monken is already, scheming some things up for that guy Bond to get open, Agent 007 for him to do his thing, absolutely. So a lot is talked about Concepcion. Concepcion and Bond are of the same mold of receiver. Both quick speedster guys, but guys that can run a full route tree. And I think one thing we'll see this year is we'll be able to see the full level of what Isaiah Bond can do in a full route tree, because there's going to be no more of the same basic, boring route combinations. Marie said, our Jizzle, I agree. I think Bond will be dependable this year for Shador. He's locked in. He is locked in. Renell Morton, shout out to you. They said they get so excited when they talk about other teams. It's cringeworthy. It is. Why not be excited about your team? There's a multitude of reasons to be excited about the Cleveland Browns, but especially when it comes to the quarterback position, you always see the Cleveland media their favorite word, they start to salivate when they talk about other teams' quarterbacks. Let's think about when they talk about Joe Burrow. It gets weird. When they talk about Josh Allen, it gets weird. You know, they don't talk about Lamar in that fashion, though, which is funny. They don't talk about Lamar in that fashion. But it is a strange way that these guys are always so loving and they glow so much about all these other quarterbacks, right? But when it comes to their own team, with a guy that has potential, you know, it's always this passive-aggressive, pessimistic nature that they have when it concerns anybody in the quarterback room. Or Jizzle. Allen done missed his window with the Bills. He did. They rebuilding their team. Absolutely. Absolutely. But let these guys tell it. They're a Super Bowl contender this year. I don't have the Bills as a Super Bowl contender this year by any stretch. Hey, Miss Donna, shout out to see you. Let's get it. All right, man. Hey, Bond might be that fantasy sleeper. Yeah? Yeah? Bond definitely might be somebody to pick up on your fantasy squad.
But there were times where I saw him and I thought, that wasn't what I was expecting from him. Now, this happens a lot with him. There were also times where I'm like, okay, there it is.
Right.
That's it. And so we need to see more of those moments, and he's got to stay healthy first and foremost. But
did you guys see moments from Quinshon Judkins where you thought, oh, this isn't a good tailback? Running back, was he talking? He's talking about Quinshon Judkins right here, right? Let's run him back a little bit.
Judkins, but there were times where I saw him and I thought, that wasn't what I was expecting from him. Now,
I mean, I think at this point these guys find anything to be negative about, right? I don't think there's any way you can take Quinshon Judkins' season last year and take it and look at it and say, well, there was times where I felt like is this what we expected when we drafted him? I don't think you can look at Quinshon Judkins and ever say that. Once again, you had the 31st, ranked offensive line. And the guy, if he wouldn't have broke his leg, ankle, whatever it was, would have been absolutely over 1,000 yards. Insanity.
Now, this happens a lot with him. There were also times where I'm like, okay, there it is.
Right.
That's it. And so we need to see more of those moments, and he's got to stay healthy first and foremost, but we need to see more of those moments that make us say, yeah, I'm glad we went with him instead of Travion. And this was a good choice. Because that was kind of the juxtaposition that they were going through at the time. The other guys, you can ask all 32 coaches in the NFL about their hopefuls, their prospects. Of course they're high on them. They're in the organization, so they think that they're going to be breakthrough guys. Boston, I think.
Well, wouldn't you expect that from the media as well? Some positivity, expecting their guys to be breakthrough guys? Maybe not from you guys, though.
Has real potential to be a star in the league. But again, it's potential. We have to see it. We have drafted and brought in guys before that we have thought had real potential. And 2 years later, we're going, what the heck was that?
Yeah.
It never developed. So the one thing I want to see out of this coaching staff is how they develop these young players. Do they just scratch the surface of what they can be, or do they unlock the super mystic code to unsolving the Rubik's Cube and they turn these guys into superstars?
So there you have it. When you talk about this team, there's a lot to be positive about as far as on the offensive end, on the offensive spectrum. It's whether you want to see through the smoke of the negativity that's perpetrated to you by the Cleveland media. There's a lot of potential out here. Bond, Judkins, Jerry Jeudy, your favorite guy, KC Concepcion, Boston, Harold Fannin. All of these guys, Dylan Sampson, all of these guys are people that can, if unlocked, like he said, with Coach Monken's potential to do so, can be absolutely elite.